what was it like raising Adam?
Adam was a lot of fun. He still is. He's a hoot. He was our sixth child, and so I don't know. I mean, I was just busy raising kids, and he was fun.
Yeah. He had curly hair.
He did lots of curls, and he loves spaghetti.
Yes, he loves spaghetti.
Love spaghetti.
And what was it? He called the things uwas. What did he call them?
Yeah, he really liked tomatoes, like the little cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes. And I was canning with a bunch of friends, and he would come and hold his little shirt out, and he'd say "ooh-ah, ooh-ah," and they'd put, because that's how you say grape in Spanish. And so he was putting grapes in, or he thought they were grapes. They were tomatoes, but he would go and sit down and watch VeggieTales and just eat shirts full of grape tomatoes.
And he still likes the grape tomatoes.
He still does, yeah. He buys those, and
He still really likes those.
those are some of his favorite snacks.
Did he know some Spanish or something?
Well, one of the ladies that I was canning with was married to a Hispanic man, and so she knew a little bit of Spanish and taught him that. And he wasn't even 2 yet. He was just toddling. So
Okay, so did Adam get in a lot of trouble when he was a kid, or was a pretty good boy? Or?
Well, not that we know of.
right.
I know when you have six.
He was probably very
Yeah,
good at hiding it.
Yeah. No, he was a good kid.
Yes,
he didn't do a lot of trouble. He was I think the one who had the worst temper of any of our kids. But he threw silent fits. So as a toddler, he would throw himself in the floor, and it looked like he was swimming because he was just kicking his arms and legs. But he never made a sound.
He didn't make any sound?
No, he didn't.
Well, that sounds like a come apart.
When he fell off he fell over the arm of the couch into my mom-in-law's oxygen tanks. Got this big old goose egg on his head. And I said, "Buddy, what happened?" And he goes, "Oxygen tanks." It was so sad.
Attacked by an oxygen tank.
Yes.
Yes.
Cute.
Yes.
So, what's your first impression of Megan when you met her?
Oh my goodness.
She is a doll.
She is a gem.
Yeah. We're so glad you found her.
So, when you have kids, you're just praying and hoping for good mates for them. And, the Bible says, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing. And Adam definitely has found a wonderful young lady.
That's
And we're
wonderful.
so glad. We're so thankful. So,
Yeah, she's a keeper for sure.
yes, she is.
So when's the first time you met her?
Well, he didn't even tell us he was dating her until they'd been dating, I think they were fixing to have their second date.
No.
Or was
I
it
think
their third?
It might have been after the third date.
Might have been, because she said nobody ever made it to the third date. And
No,
he got
never
one.
made it to the second date. I think is what
No, she would do 2 dates, but
Oh,
after
okay.
that, yeah, nobody ever made it to the third date, and Adam was the first one. But he didn't want, he said, "I've been seeing somebody, but I didn't want to tell you about it because you guys love so hard." Because pretty much if our kids bring somebody home, we're going to love that person. And he didn't want us to fall in love with her and then it not work out. And so he waited till he knew it was going to work to introduce us. So, yeah. So we met her.
He told you about her after the third date or something.
He told us
Yes.
about her after the
Yeah.
third date. And then it wasn't long before we met her.
I can't remember.
I don't remember
It just seems
exactly.
like it
It's
was
just
a
like
while
she's
ago.
always been here.
Yeah.
It's
Just fits
Yeah.
right in.
yeah, she does.
That's right. She does. And one of the ironic things is that she's an only child and Adam is one of 8. And so it's like, and she just jumped right in the middle of them.
Yeah, not intimidated at all.
Not intimidated.
Isn't that great?
She just, it's like, yeah, we
She's
need
been
that.
wanting brothers and sisters.
Well, she's got him in spades now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, my. It ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
And it's going to be rough, but it's a choice.
Yeah.
Love is sometimes a choice. And and I think he knows, and I think she knows too.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be perfect. So you just got to choose to love and choose to work through it.
Yeah, because there are times when you choose to love somebody, but they may not be your friend at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've had a few of those.
Yeah, we've been through that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you just keep on trucking. It's going to be
Yeah.
good.
When you're starting out, you never think you're going to have any problems.
Right.
You're always
yeah.
going to feel this way.
It's all wine
for
and
the most
roses,
part.
but the roses have
But
thorns.
it's
Yeah.
but it's good. I mean, they had a good example with you two and Jeff and
hope so.
Heidi.
Well, I hope
And
so.
Yeah.
like the good times and the bad. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's good.
yes.
So did you know when Adam was going to pop the question? Did he tell you ahead of time or no?
He started telling us
He
that he
did.
was, since she was so athletic, he said, I think what I'm going to do, we're just going to go on a run together. And then at the end of the run,
Yeah.
am I getting that right?
Yeah, but he didn't tell us exactly when, until
Right.
like maybe a week or two before
Yeah.
he did
Because
it.
you had the
Yeah.
whole family there for pictures or something.
We did, and we didn't know that he
Oh.
was gonna propose that day. We thought he was gonna
Well,
propose,
it was earlier that, he'd already
Earlier.
proposed.
Well, he didn't
Because he had
propose.
talked to his.
right, but I
dad.
mean, like on Friday, we didn't know that he was gonna propose that
Oh,
day.
yes.
We
that-
thought it was
okay.
gonna be that weekend, but not on the day, and they
Yeah.
came back Friday from their run already engaged, and so
Yeah.
she agreed then to be in the family pictures because she had a ring on it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes us happy to
Yes.
see the two of them
Yeah.
together. You know, they're
Yes.
just so
Yeah.
sweet.
I think
Yeah,
they're good
they're
together.
fun to watch. Just
They're
keep
just-
loving each other and loving Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you
Yeah,
guys. Thanks for
appreciate it.
doing this.
The big day, Megan's wedding day.
Yeah, it's not election day, is it?
No,
And what's Megan's full name?
Megan Grace Rose, because she's not so graceful, is she?
She's not so graceful? Oh, okay. So what's it like? What's been like raising Megan?
She's been a hoot.
Adam was a lot of fun. He still is. He's a hoot.
Yep, a lot of energy.
Kept you on her toes?
Yeah. Remember her come aparts? She threw herself on the ground. We called them come aparts.
Including yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
Still having them, huh? Okay.
Only for us.
She tries to hold it together
Yeah,
for other
everyone
people.
else, yep. Yep.
Okay.
We get the best.
So what do you think of Adam?
He's a good kid. You can tell it's meant to be. You can just feel it.
Good.
They're great. I'm
His
excited.
jokes are cheesy.
You can work on
Well,
that.
that's all
Really
kids. Their jokes aren't as funny as ours. Their
Cheesy.
stories.
Their jokes aren't as funny as ours. So when's the first time you guys met Adam?
It was he drove down with Megan at Pops's.
Yeah,
or
we heard
something.
about him because he's the only one to make the second date.
Oh.
Third date.
And the third date.
Wow.
It's like, and probably 2 months later, 3 months later.
Well, we were talking on the phone one day. She goes, "Oh wait, oh there's so much I got to tell you. You don't know. There's a guy. I met a guy,
A boy.
a boy.
We've been on 3 whole days.
You could tell
dreaming.
she was smitten. Then it's like, oh,
Oh, this might be something.
yeah, yeah. You could tell she was excited.
It's all
Just hearing
Amanda's
her,
fault.
Oh, I met a. There's a boy.
You need to interview Amanda.
She's the reason.
She
That's
introduced
how
them.
they met.
Made them talk to each other.
Made them.
Yeah.
Well, they were both a little shy or what?
No, they were at the same function, and neither one of them would say anything to the other. And Amanda said, "You guys are you going to exchange numbers or not?"
And they did.
So make sure you interview Amanda.
Well, I think it was after Adam kept asking what time it was, and Megan, with her funny sense of humor, goes,
Time for you to get a watch."
Time for you to get a watch. That's when they met. Time for you to get a watch.
So when did you meet Adam? When did she finally bring him home?
It
or-
was shortly after that they come down for something. I don't remember what it was though. She brought Adam with her, and you could tell he was the one because Megan's all, I don't know. She'd always say, "Well, I'm not going to make my guy do this or bring him around the family," and she's like, "No, he's got it. He's great. Come on in, meet everybody." Yeah, all these things she said she wouldn't do, she's doing them.
Well, that was a sign.
Yeah, yeah.
He made the calendar shortly after that.
You made the calendar.
That's a big deal when you make the calendar.
That's part of the Rose family.
It wasn't too
right?
long. He
Yeah.
made the calendar.
That's great.
Because she'd always be like, "Well, I'm going to wait till I get married to bring a guy around, because then he'll be in the calendar."
Oh,
and on
He'll be on the
mugs."
coffee mug,
Yeah.
and you break up, and
But no, now
you
when
get
she
your picture
met
taken
Adam,
with the family.
she's like, "Yeah, he can jump into the family picture like right away."
He can be on the coffee
Yeah,
mug in the
yeah.
calendar. Whoa, big time.
Yeah, so you could tell. I was like, "Oh boy."
And then how did Adam ask Jeff if he could marry Megan?
Well, in
Well-
all truthfulness,
Well, I don't know if we should tell the truth.
Megan had an episode of intestinal discomfort.
You might want to edit that out.
No, put it in there. And
It's the truth.
Heidi's in the bathroom getting ready. We have to drive to Bryan, Texas in
Yeah.
College Station. And, his voice was a little shaky. Dad wasn't ready for it, sitting there watching TV. It was not the time. And she had excused herself to the restroom in the lobby because she had a little bubble gut going on. And then he just blurts it out. And I'm just like, no, I drove all the way down here for this.
So what did he say? Well, we only got like 5 minutes, so we
Yeah.
better hurry up.
Yeah, he said, I'd
Mr. Rose?
like to, I'd like your permission to marry Megan. And I'm like, well, I kind of anticipated something like that. It was a setup. They all were
No,
involved.
I didn't know. I did
They
not.
all were involved.
I did not know.
So anyway, it was hard to find the right words, but the only thing that I had to say was that her happiness is the most important thing in this world to me.
That's beautiful.
And as long as he and I have that in common, he'll never have a problem.
Well, that's good advice, I'd
Yep.
say.
And then didn't you tell him you'll doctor up the story on how he has?
Yeah, I told him,
So we're gonna leave out the
we'll be
bubble
like
gut.
we'll wait in line at the barbecue place that we went to after that
So if you hear that
You know.
version, that's,
with a free beer. And that would have been a little better, but no, she had to go bad. And when she
Megan's
took off,
very
he just
blunt.
blurted
She's
it out.
always been very blunt.
And then a week after that, he got transferred to California.
Oh, it was
So,
only a week?
Yeah. Well, he
Right
found out
after
he was
his
moving to
graduation.
California, so that
Yeah.
really, made it a lot less exciting for Dad and Mom.
That was hard then.
It's been an adventure.
Yep.
Wonderful. So do you have any marriage advice for Adam and Megan?
Marriage is forever, or at least it feels like it. Right, dear?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Well, I think you've done a good job. Still married, after how many years now? 20?
I count them all. You count.
You got 'em all.
You count parole before you go to prison, so it's 35, right? 35.
Oh, from when you were dating to...
Yeah. We got 10 years on supervised release, right?
All right. Can you think of anything?
Any other advice you want to give her?
Yeah, transfer the phone bill to your name,
Car
the
insurance?
car insurance.
Well, let's see. Well, like be patient because it took me a while to figure out our love language is different, men and women.
True.
And a lot of time, yeah. And so sometimes you gotta stop and think, this really means a lot to them to be doing this for me. We're just different. You gotta learn to appreciate each other's love language.
That's why you rode on the motorcycle with him.
Yeah, you guys make sure you get Amanda.
So Megan, she was my roommate at the time. I would drag her everywhere. I didn't like, doing something on my own, and she didn't want to be home alone. So I made her go to this safe trick or treat with me. I was part of like the safety program at Southeastern. Adam was also part of the safety program. Previously that summer, we had done like an internship for the same company. So I had like interacted with him and like I had met him, but I did not know Adam very well. But I dragged Megan over with me. He showed up, she was there, and then I had another friend there as well. But it was just us three there. And yeah, I felt like a vibe there. I felt like there was like a very good connection between the two of them. They like picked on each other and it just flowed so easily and so naturally. But yeah, so like I just kept picking on them. We were there for a few hours and he was helping us pack. And at the end of it, they were just saying goodbye and I was like, hey, like did y'all exchange numbers? And she was pretty upset that I did that. She didn't want anything to do with it. And even when we got home, she was like, seriously, like, come on. And even then I was like, hey, like, did y'all text each other yet? She's like, dude, we just got home like 5 minutes ago.
That's awesome. And the rest is history, huh?
The rest is history, yeah. I told her, it was funny because I told her, I was like, yeah, like he's a good guy. Like he's a very great guy. She's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. I didn't know
really
Adam,
know him.
so I didn't know him at all. So I'm very glad he's a good guy and he's great, yeah.
My name is Adam Decker, and I am the groom.
Yeah, what's happening tomorrow?
I'm getting married
To who?
to Megan Rose.
Megan, what's her middle name?
Grace.
All right. Pass
She's got
that
3
test.
first names.
Yeah, Megan Grace, that's true. So how did you meet Megan?
We were at a safe trick-or-treat event. There was a ASSP.
ASSP was the organization that Amanda and I were in college, and Amanda and Megan were roommates, and so we had a safe trick-or-treat event, just little thing for the
the kids to have a good place instead of knocking on strangers' doors for candy on Halloween. And so Amanda enlisted Megan to be help, and I just kind of showed up, and Megan and I really just hit it off. And,
What was your first impression when you saw her?
she was really cool. When I saw her?
Or when you met her?
Wow.
Yeah.
She was real cute and really cool. It's kind of funny though, because when I first met Megan, I'd kind of settled in, like, you know, they say you find what you're looking for when you're not looking for it. And so I was very much in the, just gonna chill out, just be single, and you know, figure it out later. And then it wasn't a week after I had made that decision that we had that Safe Trick or Treat event and met Megan, and I was like, oh damn, she's really cool. So
That's pretty cool. No, that's
Yeah.
kind of when it happens, like when you least expect it.
yeah,
Kinda.
yeah.
What'd you like about her? I mean, what was the first thing that you really liked about her when just meeting
You
her?
know, she's real cute. And then just being able to hold just a normal conversation is something that's kind of rare to find these days. And so we were able to hold a good conversation and had some common interests. So it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed being with her. So what was your first date?
First date, I picked her up and we went to Heyday in Denison. And we played some mini golf, which she cheated a whole lot at.
Cheating.
Some mini golf. We went bowling and did some arcade games.
Wow.
And then after that, we went and got ice cream at Cold Stone. And then I took her back to her place and walked her to her door, and that was it.
So did you plan a second date before you left, or you called her the next day, or?
When I walked her to the door, I said it was really fun. I'd like to do it again, and she said I would too. And so we didn't plan it, but we said both said we wanted a second date. So.
And then
And then the second date was we went to Main Street Barbecue in Durant. Again, picked her up. We went to Main Street and ate some barbecue. And then while we were there, she told me that she'd never been on a third date. And I took that as a personal challenge. I was like, all right, cool.
challenge.
And so we ate there, and then I remember on the second date we're eating. She was like, "How do you feel about sketchy alleys?" And I was like, "This woman's 5 foot nothing and 110 pounds max, and I'm 5'9" and 200." And she just asked me how I feel about sketchy alleys, and I was like, I mean, I'm fine with them,
That's a strange question.
But we walked down. Durant has a really nice art alley where it's like different murals down the alleyway. So we walked down Main Street to that little art alley and there and back, and just kind of talked the whole way, and then went back to the car and I took her home again, walked her to the door, and said I really had fun. And she also told me while we were eating, she told me, hadn't gone on a third date. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try real hard then. And then she later told me that she really liked trampolines, and I was like, all right, well, I know where we're going on our third date. And third date was a trampoline park.
Because she couldn't resist a trimpoline.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
She couldn't
even if
say
she
no,
didn't like me,
basically.
she'd like the trampoline.
So yeah, third date, we went to Urban Air in Denison and messed around at trampoline park for a good while, and then went and ate at Cheddar's.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history, yeah.
Kept having more dates.
Yeah.
So what characters does Megan have that you were looking for in a wife or what?
I think she's really intelligent, she's really funny, and just, her being a teacher and all, and just, loving kids and wanting to do her best to kind of influence and help them come up the right way and give them a good influence those were some big things for me, so.
That's nice.
Yeah. Oh, and she loved her family, and I've always been very family oriented. So, hearing her talk about her mom and dad and how good they've been was pretty big encouragement for me, because you don't see that too often these days. So, yeah, I like Jeff. He's cool.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Well, his Megan's pretty special, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell he cares about Megan a lot. So I think he and I will get along just fine.
Yeah. So, is there anything you'd like to say to Megan?
I'm just really excited for tomorrow and getting to spend our life together. And I love you a whole lot. So.
That's awesome. All right.
My name is Megan Grace Rose, and I am getting married tomorrow.
Who are you married?
Adam McClellan Decker.
McClellan Decker.
Yes.
And how did you meet?
We met on Halloween 2 years ago. My roommate Amanda at the time, it was in a safety club because she's a safety major, and I had done this thing called Safe Trick or Treating at the college where the groups pass out candy, and so the year before it was just me and her for her club whenever all the clubs were doing it. So then the second year when she asked me to do it, it was her and I and a coworker, and then some guy named Adam who was vice president of the safety club that they were in. So yeah.
Vice president, huh? And that's where you
And
met
she
him.
was president, yes. Yeah.
Now, were you dressed up in a costume?
Nope, I just had a sweatshirt on that said Arkansas.
And then, so Amanda introduced you guys.
Yes.
And
yeah.
did you like what you saw right away, or?
Whenever I first met him, I thought he already had a girlfriend because I thought he looked really nice and handsome. Amanda whispered really loud to Adam, "Are you single?" And then he said, "Yes." And then at the end of the night, she said, "So are you guys going to exchange numbers or what?" And then we did, and I put his phone number in my contacts as some guy named Adam because I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And he's still in my contacts like that.
Some guy named Adam. And so how
Yeah.
long was it before he texted you or contacted you? Or?
I guess he messaged me the night of, and then so on Halloween, and then probably like November 4th or ish was probably our first date, like November 3rd or something. So yeah, around this time 2 years ago.
Awesome. So where'd you go on your first date?
We went. It's been a while. We went to Heyday. It's a place where there's like bowling and mini golf and arcades and pizza, and that's all that we did. And then afterwards, we went and got ice cream, which I thought was a good sign because I thought he wants me to hang around more. So yeah,
He wasn't in a hurry to get out of there.
yeah. And then our second date was, I think we just did like barbecue in Durant, but I had told him, I said, I've never gone on a third date because I know what I want and I always tell guys no. And he said, well, I hate to hear that because I'm hard to, I said I'm hard to impress. And he said, you're going to ask him next. I forgot what he said, but something like, I like to impress or I like to, surprise or something like that. And I had mentioned how much I love jumping on the trampoline because that's all I used to do back home. So for our third date, we went to a trampoline park and we got real sweaty and my hair was crazy. And for dinner, and I've never gone on a third date, he's like, let's just pull into Taco Bell. And I was like, we're not going to go to Taco Bell on our third date. So we sat and ate in at Cheddar's and we're there and I'm thinking, this is kind of embarrassing. We look like we just ran a marathon, like with how we look. But yeah. So yeah.
So by then you knew he was pretty special.
Yeah, I knew he was. He showed that he was, there's a lot of qualities
Great
that he
potential.
had. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then when did you bring him home to meet mom and dad, or when did you tell mom and dad?
Just under a month. He had some days off at Dillard's where he worked. So I brought him up and Grandma Karen met him and gave him a picture frame that was totally embarrassing. And then it was just too soon. But he also came and decorated Christmas cookies and it was a good time. So yeah, and he met the parents at the clubhouse and stuff like that.
So what do you like about Adam?
I like his character a lot. I feel like when the first time you meet him, you kind of know what he's all about. And I really admire that about him. This is going to help me write my vows because I haven't done that yet. Oh yeah, he's athletic. So I always used to pray that I wanted a guy who was funny and smart and athletic, and I got those things. And I used to say, like, I wanted him to be so funny, like he'd make me laugh and I would cry. And I also said, and this is really embarrassing, I used to pray that he was smart and he knew, like, so Amanda's a safety major, and one day she came home and said, did you know that the word scuba, like scuba diving, is an acronym? I didn't know that. And so I was like, well, I want a guy who's so smart and he knows that one fact. And so on our first date, Adam, we somehow got on that subject, and I was like, you're the one, so dumb.
That's maybe older than you too, remember?
Well, yeah, but that didn't have to be like that bad. But he is 10 days older, and we found that out at the Halloween, at Safe Trick or Treating. he said, "What time is it?" And I said, "Time for you to get a watch," like that age-old question or joke. And then he said, "How old are you?" And I said, 22. "How old are you?" And he said, 22. And he's like, "When's your birthday?" And I said, June 30. And then I said, "When's yours?" And he said, June 20. So we found out the night of that he's only 10 days older than me.
What did you think when he proposed to you?
I thought it was really special, and I didn't figure it out, but I thought I was close to, so don't forget that. But you did really good. And I thought it was really special that we did it on a run, and we did it on our very first run ever. So I
Your
absolutely
first
loved
run
it.
together?
Yeah. Well, not ever, but we had ran there before. Like that was like our place to go running. It was like at that park or whatever. And I love that he picked out my ring because everyone says he did so good. My ring has like leaves in it because he knows I love it. It has alexandrite because that's both of our birthstones because they're both June babies.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Can he keep up with you when you're running?
No, but he could.
He probably can't run as long.
Right.
I don't know if he runs as fast either.
No.
That's okay.
Yeah,
You
but I
let him catch ya.
can't lift what he lifts, so
Oh,
it's okay. He's got something on me, and he can't run what I run.
Action.
I am really excited to marry you, and I can't wait for our future. And I absolutely it's so crazy thinking about getting married, and it's like, oh, if he's the one, he's the one. And it's like, without a doubt, I know that like you're who I'm meant to be with, and I just can't wait for you to be my husband. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I love you. More too. I win. Cool.
That's good.